Hello and welcome in, my warriors. I am Leland Holgate, for those of you who don't know me, a combat veteran and now studying neuropsychologist. And today on this episode, I am so excited to talk about one of my favorite fields of study, epigenetics. And this field of study was actually brought to my attention back in 2017 when a friend of mine gave me Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural. And ever since then, I have been hooked on the subject. So what is epigenetics? Epigenetics is the study of changes inside of any organism that's based on environment and behavior, more so the internal state more than just the environment or external, right? So the changes that our behaviors, our environment create on the inside, thoughts creating our feelings, and those feelings creating chemical compounds and changing the way that gene expression is activated inside of the body. So without making any genetic changes, epigenetics is studying how the genes are expressed in the body and how those changes are made to that gene expression. So whenever you look at the breath work, that's what's beautiful about the breath work, or Dr. Joe's work with the meditations or our meditations, is you're changing that internal state, that internal environment, right? So when we dive into psychology just a bit, not too long ago, the discussion was nature versus nurture. You know, it was, this is whatever you have here. This is, you're stuck with it. What you're born with, you've got. And thankfully now, the debate is over on that. We know that that's not the case. What you're looking at is 2% of your genetic expression, with the other 98% just sitting in the back there. And, you know, they used to call that junk DNA. But now we know, based on much research that's out there, thankfully, again, Dr. Joe and Dr. Hemmel and some amazing experts out there have found that that's not the case. That actually the 98% of that genetic expression is just lying in wait, essentially, for you to activate it. So when you look at epigenetics and the internal state or your internal environment, we dive further into thoughts create your feelings, and feelings create your physical destiny. And why is that? Well, thoughts, being the language of the mind, the brain, create emotions or feelings, the language of the body. So if the thoughts that you're thinking are stressful, then what's going to happen emotions-wise? Think about it. Whenever you have something that has stressed you out, made you angry, or put you off the edge, what happens? The body follows suit, right? Thoughts create those feelings, and those emotions pop up, whether it's sadness, anger, shame, guilt, whatever's happening. Since that's the language of the body follows suit and says, okay, he's stressed out, he's angry, or she's scared. We should go ahead and give her the chemical compounds to confirm that that's how she's feeling. And that's exactly what happens. So your thoughts, whenever you're stressed out about something, upregulate those stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. There's a whole list of them that your body works off of. Now, these are good in the short term. Okay, we can't always look at the stress hormones as a bad thing. If a lion is chasing you and your stress hormones jack up, you might survive because, boom, all the blood has now gone to your hands and to your feet, and you can run and get away from the lion or the tiger, right? So it's not always a bad thing acutely, in small fashion, in small portion. But when you look at it as far as revolving, constant, chronic, stressful thoughts, what does that create throughout your body? That creates a chronic stress response inside of the body. So you will constantly upregulate those stress hormones. And as we know, what happens when those stress hormones are constantly elevated? They create dis-ease. So with epigenetics, the beautiful part about this study is it allows us to realize that we can change and shift those thoughts, which then change and shift those emotions. And then what do you know? That changes and shifts the chemical compounds inside of the body. You make that biochemical shift from stress to relaxed state of being. So it upregulates all those happy hormones for you, oxytocin, and serotonin, dopamine, upregulates your endorphins. So it's as simple as making a shift. And mind you, I said simple because it's not always easy, right? I still have those moments that pop up. And, let's say in the morning I wake up and immediately the thought is, oh, it's going to be a tough and challenging day. I've got so much on my schedule. I like to use something called metacognition. And metacognition is being aware of your thoughts and then shifting those thoughts. One of the biggest parts of metacognition is evaluating that thought and then checking the validity of that thought. So for me, those thoughts pop up, and this may be something that helps you as well. Oh, it's going to be a tough and challenging day. Hold on just a minute. Where did that come from? See, right when I did that, I got a chill inside of my body because I have trained my body to pause for the moment. Let's just think about that thought. Let's go ahead and concentrate on that for a moment. Where did that come up? Why? And then checking the validity. Why? Why is it going to be a tough day? Why would it be challenging today? Why? I don't see how it's going to be tough or challenging. There may be a busy day ahead of me. I can agree to that. But that does not mean it's going to be tough or challenging. That is literally the mind trying to evaluate a possible future. And what happens when we spend all of our time in the future or in the past? We are filled with stress or regret or shame or anxiety, right? So it allows you that chance to take a moment, just press the pause button, evaluate those thoughts, shift those thoughts for yourself after recognizing the validity of that thought, and the body will follow suit. That's the beautiful part about this, is you're the captain of this ship. You're not just a passenger on the journey. We all have played the victim role. I have played it many, many times in my life as a combat veteran. Trust me. I have played that victim role. It's well within sight of our power, though, to shift every bit of that. And that's why I love coming to you guys with some of these episodes and explaining why we do what we do at the Willful Warrior. So it's not just about the breath. I want you to keep that in mind. The breath is just a beautiful tool to change that state so that you can take the wheel. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming in. We have our live broadcasts once a month. Go check us out at www.thewillfulwarrior.org. And also, if you want to email us, we are at thewillfulwarrior@gmail.com. And I'd love to see any comments, experiences that you've had, or any questions that you guys might have as well. Please bring those to us. We are super excited to be doing this work with you guys, and I cannot wait to see you on our next live broadcast. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Have the most amazing day. Make it an amazing life, warriors.